All right, let's jump right into this explainer. We're going to uncover what is, without a doubt, the hardest working, yet somehow most invisible layer of your entire IT virtualization stack. Now, most IT folks spend their careers hyper-focused on the flashy stuff, right? CPU scheduling, memory ballooning, network switches, the fun things. But today, we are digging into the actual foundation underneath all of that.
We all love tuning our hypervisors and tweaking those network switches, but the underlying storage file system, it's quietly sitting there, literally determining whether your infrastructure thrives or completely collapses. It is reading and writing every single byte of every virtual machine you run. And a bad choice here? Oh, it's going to cause you some very real and very expensive operational pain.
So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with the hidden city planner concept, look at the anatomy of virtual machines, compare legacy versus copy on write, check out the HCI cluster challengers, tackle defeating silent data corruption, and finally, figure out how to choose your file system.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the Hidden City Planner.
Think of your hypervisor as the buildings in a city. The file system, that is the zoning and the core infrastructure. It dictates exactly how the land, meaning your disk space, gets divided up. It decides where files are constructed and how to keep perfect records of it all. If the city planner makes a mistake, the whole city suffers from urban sprawl, massive traffic jams, or entirely collapsed buildings. And trust me, nobody wants to be the admin on call when a virtual city collapses.
This infrastructure lives right across the physical drives inside your servers. On the outside, the hardware might look pristine, blinking lights and all, but on the inside, a mismatched file system leads to terrible metadata corruption on a shared data store. That kind of thing can take down every single VM simultaneously or cause latency spikes that bring your applications to an absolute crawl.
Moving right along to Section 2, Anatomy of Virtual Machines.
It is kind of fascinating when you step back and realize a VM is not just one giant monolithic file. It's actually this wild, diverse collection of files with totally different performance demands. You've got massive virtual disks screaming for I/O performance, right alongside tiny configuration files that absolutely demand reliable atomic writes. Then you have memory state files asking the system to dump gigabytes of RAM to disk in seconds. It's a seriously demanding mix.
Which brings us to Section 3, Legacy versus copy on write. So how do different systems handle that crazy mix of demands? Well, legacy file systems, think NTFS, actually overwrite data right in place. You take a snapshot, it requires this heavy, clunky data copying that completely degrades performance. But then you have the copy on write titans like RAFS and ZFS. They write new data to a completely new location on the disk and then just update a tiny metadata pointer. The result? Deploying 50 VMs from a template takes seconds instead of hours. Snapshots basically become instant and virtually free. Take ZFS, for example. It completely treats data integrity as a first-class citizen. It actually collapses the traditional hardware RAID, the volume manager, and the file system into one unified, self-healing layer. ZFS pools space across multiple levels, from physical disks down at the bottom, grouped into VDEVs, rolled up into a Z-pool, and sliced into datasets and zvals. It is a brilliantly integrated architecture that just eliminates all those separate clunky management layers we used to deal with.
Let's shift gears to Section 4, the HCI cluster challengers.
When we step away from standalone hypervisors, modern hyper-converged infrastructure, or HCI, relies on some incredibly hyper-optimized engines. VMware's VMFS, for instance, uses a proprietary distributed on-disk locking system, so multiple hosts can access the same files simultaneously without a dedicated lock server. Nutanix goes a totally different route, dropping a controller VM on every node to bypass the hypervisor entirely for sub-millisecond latency. And then there's VirgFS, which actually deduplicates across every byte of data in the entire cluster, not just a single node. And there are some absolutely massive hardware savings to be found here. While a raw legacy system like NTFS sits at a basic 1.0x baseline, a player like VirgFS leads the pack, hitting 3.0 to 8.0x storage efficiency thanks to global inline deduplication and compression. If you are running a huge virtual desktop environment where hundreds of VMs look exactly the same, this architecture dramatically slashes your hardware costs.
Up next is Section 5, Defeating Silent Data Corruption.
Now, efficiency is great, but it means absolutely nothing if your data is secretly degrading. Silent data corruption, also known as bit rot, is literally the ultimate nightmare scenario. Your file system thinks it successfully read a file, but the data returned is fundamentally broken.
We are talking about NANDware, bad sectors, or even just cosmic rays causing DRAM bit flips. The system never throws an error, it just hands your database corrupted data. And by the time you actually notice, those errors have already been baked into your backups. No way you want to deal with that.
Look, if you're running commodity hardware and you don't have some massively expensive enterprise SAN protecting you, relying on NTFS, XFS, or VMFS is a huge gamble. They simply do not checksum the data blocks themselves. ZFS, on the other hand, acts like an impenetrable shield against bit rot. It stores a separate checksum for every single block of data. When you read a file, ZFS validates it on the fly. If it's corrupted, ZFS silently fetches the correct copy from a mirror, fixes the bad block, and hands you perfect data without a single hiccup.
Let's wrap things up with Section 6, choosing your file system. Okay, let's pull all this theory together into something you can actually use. This head-to-head comparison perfectly maps out which file system aligns with your specific technical requirements. Need open source and end-to-end checksumming? ZFS is your clear winner, no question. If you want a deeply integrated Microsoft stack with instant checkpoints, ReFS is your go-to. And if you are looking for that hyper-efficient global deduplication we talked about, VirtualFS and Nutanix are exactly where he should be looking.
When it comes time to make your final choice, there are 5 dimensions you really need to look at. You start with your hypervisor, because let's face it, if you're on vSphere, you're pretty much locked into VMFS or vSAN. Then look at your data integrity needs, then scale and budget. But listen, pay super close attention to number 5 here. Remember that the most technically superior file system is completely useless if your IT team lacks the operational expertise to run it. If your entire team only knows Windows, dropping a complex open-source ZFS Linux stack on them, that is a recipe for disaster. Operational fit beats technical superiority every single time.
So, I want to leave you with this final thought for today's explainer. You've tuned your CPUs, you've optimized those network switches, you've perfectly balanced your RAM, but have you unknowingly built your entire virtual city on a crumbling foundation? Take a really hard look at the storage layer quietly working away in the dark. Is your data actually safe? Thanks so much for joining me, and keep building smarter.